Let me see your identification.
What did you say? Now tighten those restraints. Scavenger scum.
We don't need to see his identification.
I will remove these restraints and leave the cell with the door open.
My lord.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, Dave making it just in time, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about.
Just in time.
I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you? Should I even ask?
Frazzled. I am the definition of frazzled.
Yeah.
Frazzle Rock over here. Just
staying afloat, doing his thing.
yeah, afloat. I'm treading water. Legs are kicking.
Yeah.
Penguins are splashing around like ah.
Well, as long as you can still breathe and your heart's still beating, then
Yeah.
all is well, right?
That stuff's happening.
Yeah.
I hope. I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, let's keep hoping.
Yeah. We'll do that.
So, as I'm sure you and everybody else listening knows, we just passed May the 4th.
Right.
Today is the next day, Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, or it's the it's the Sith one.
Well, that's tomorrow. That's Revenge of the Sith, 6th.
I thought they were doing it for the 5th too.
I thought
People have posted all kinds of weird shit. Like I think they're claiming the 5th too. I think they're trying to like Jedi appropriate a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, I think they need to just stick with the 4th and call it good. Don't spread out too much. Don't.
Hey, I just appreciate the nerds and the people that want to be a part of it. Like, hey, you're doing stuff, and that's like, I don't know. I went and got my haircut yesterday, and the entire place, it's a Sport Clips filled with broads. Not a single Star Wars like thing to be had in the place. So I was like,
sad face.
this is disappointing. Like, not even one. Like, come on. Nope, not one.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity for sure.
Yep. But a lot of other stuff comes with May the 4th. In fact, our anniversary of the podcast
That is right.
comes on May the 4th.
Yes.
And we have now been going for, according to my calculations, 8 years.
8 years.
And I'm like,
94.
that can't be right. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, it hasn't been that long. And I'm doing math, thinking, I'm like, okay, so we started right before The Last Jedi came out, which was 2017, 18, 19, 20, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's really been 8 years. I'm like racking my brain, like it's not possible, not humanly possible. And I had to count on my fingers, and sure enough, we got there.
8 years of doing this shit show.
Yeah, every week.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Anyway, more or less.
Yeah,
through thick and thin, and the and fucking COVID and Air Force schools and all the other
going
shit.
away for like a year.
Yeah,
which is funny to think about now because that was like way in the beginning comparatively.
I know,
to the length of the podcast.
I know it seems like it was like that was like in the middle, but it really wasn't.
No,
it was like episode like 60.
Yeah,
I think something like that.
Yeah, so it's just weird to think about in context of the 8 years, and the fact that it's been 8 years is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
so much has changed. We've got a lot more here.
Yeah,
I've got a lot less here.
Yeah, we're the fact that we're allowed to grow facial hair now. We're both retired out of the military, so we can actually like enjoy a lack of standards, I guess. I don't know.
Something like that.
Meanwhile, while the Air Force is getting its ass beat for fucking standards. They're having open ranks inspections and shit. Oh, yeah, dude.
Really?
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Oh, God.
It's fucking hilarious.
Well, were they just slacking for too long?
Oh, I don't even want to get into it, but there's just a bunch of... With all the other shenanigans that have been going on, you get these... There are leaders that believe that and we're going to get back to basics, and by having an open ranks inspection, that is somehow getting you to some basic standardization without addressing anything else. See, it's one thing if you're actually going to do that. It's like, yes, we're getting back to basics. All right, open ranks inspections and like really remembering that you're in the military and all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
That's great. If you start with that and you build on it.
Right.
Instead, they're going to do that and then not do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just going to like, hey, look what we did. That's going to be a bullet on somebody's OPB, and they're going to move along, move along until the next idiot idea comes through, and then dude. I mean, let me tell you how fucking bad it is.
Uh-oh.
Today, I'm busier than a one-arm paper hanger right now. Right, I'm basically doing 2 jobs.
What's a paper hanger?
Wallpaper hanger.
Oh.
Yeah, one arm. Trying to hang wallpaper.
Do people still use wallpaper?
I think I've seen like on one of those shows where I saw somebody putting up wallpaper, like it was trying to make a comeback or something.
Oh. Sidebar. I had Star Wars wallpaper in an old apartment that I lived in years and years ago when I was like 6, 7, 8 years
Hell
old,
yeah.
something like that. Yeah, my mom put it up. I still remember actually her putting up the wallpaper that day. Weird.
It's probably the smell. You know, it's the
Yeah.
glue. Everyone was getting high in the house. Like,
Yeah.
woo, I'm having an experience. I can't even talk yet. I don't know why I can even think of this.
Anyway, wallpaper hanger, you're busy.
I'm busy. And we get this message traffic today, the civilians. Hey, no, you guys are submitting your 5 things, but I kind of need a recap of everything you've done this year.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Wow.
I can't make this up. Not from like the big people, whatever they're asking for the other thing. This is just for like something that should have been done over a month ago is now suddenly an emergency that I don't fucking have time for.
Right.
I just don't. In fact is I'm going to have to, when we're finished with the podcast, I'm going to have to go home and continue to work and put this product together because they need it like tomorrow. And I didn't have time to do it today. Even if I had stayed later and not gone to the podcast, I still would have to be working on it.
Yeah.
So it's like it. And I put in like 5 hours of work on Saturday.
Did you?
Yeah. Mostly air show work. But it's like, dude, now is not the time. And I'm not, the other civilians are just as busy.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? You want a whole year worth of shit. It's like, oh yeah, here's your appraisal. And then they want like, they want actual like data points, like quantifiable data points. So I'm going to have to go in and like, oh, how many training folders did we, open and close and fucking execute, with these number of missions and everything else. Oh yeah.
Something they could have brought to your attention, maybe half a year ago and given you time to actually prepare that.
Or something that's somebody in my chain of command said that they were going to do and then fucked off and didn't do it. And now it's left for somebody else to go, and have to give it to us to do.
Fun.
Yeah. So we're a little disgruntled right now, more so than usual. I still haven't done my 5 bullets for today, which I'm just fucking busy and I don't have time for extra nonsense.
I can't believe they're still making you do that.
They're doing it because they can, as motherfuckers. Anyway, yes. So when we're done with the podcast today, I get to write out a recap of everything I did this past year. Fun.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's got to be great. I think I'm gonna crack some alcohol, to be honest.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right, don't make a habit out of that. We've both gone down that slippery slope before, and you don't want to get into that again.
Maybe we do. Maybe I do. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well,
it is awful out there right now.
Let's bring it back to something a little more positive, at least for the next 2 hours.
Like what?
like, well, first of all, like our Patreon supporters.
Yes.
They-
Did we talk about what we're talking about today?
No, what are we talking about today?
We're going over the next 3 episodes of Andor.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I'll we'll get into it when we get it.
We will
get into
definitely get into it.
But yes, we were talking Andor. I've been doing these in parts. Been calling them like part 1 was last week. This is part 2. The next 3 batches of
Okay.
episodes. So
I got you.
yeah, that's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it part 2. I think I've seen it online referred to as volume 1 and 2, but I don't like that.
Yeah.
So here we go. Patreon time.
Do it.
We'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons: Frank Kalevich, Don Solsky, Helen Martin. What did I do wrong? Shotgun Mark, Nick from Sweet Studios, Scott and Kim from Use and Views podcast, Catherine Rennick, Tina Land, Wally Frogmore, my wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, Lord Helmet Fire, The Orange and Fett Show, saw Bronco Fett in the chat just a minute ago, Carly Vickers, David Schmuck, Chantal from Pop My Culture, who apparently is still alive. She's been sending out some message traffic on the in the Sidebar friends.
Oh, that's right.
circles.
Yeah, I did see some proof of life.
Yes. Kristen Roscom, Sterling Azier, Dragon Buddy, Frederick Martin, and Nicholas Schaefer.
37.
If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we've been doing this for 8 fucking years.
That's true. 8 years.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Yes. You people who are still loyally watching and or listening to us. You are the
Right.
reason why we do this.
Yes. And from Sidebar headlines, there's no way this is accurate. Is it really?
I thought you didn't have notes.
She
today.
updated notes.
Oh.
It says, from the office of Lunar Girl, go outside and look at the night sky tonight. Tonight, the Geminids meteor shower will light up the sky with 30-plus shooting stars per hour. Not going to see shit because it's overcast,
Yeah.
at least in the Northeast right now. The shower stems from the dust of infamous Halley's Comet.
I heard about that.
Of course, a lot of us on the East Coast have shitty weather. Oh, yeah, she covers that. Once again, but if you're luckier than us, unplug for a bit tonight. Yes, do that. And while you're staring longingly at the bits of Halley's Comet that are streaking through the sky, just think of Dave sitting at his computer wanting to napalm so many things.
Let's we don't need to get into specifics on that one.
True.
But is that
Like how to make napalm?
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Isn't?
Yeah. I'm not going to say it because that's going to like that
You're
shit
gonna
like that.
You're gonna put us on an
flags.
FBI list.
Yeah,
and
it flags like crazy. You know, speaking of which, sidebarring I was watching a video. It was an Instagram video, or no, it was either Instagram video or YouTube reel, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a kid making like homemade gunpowder.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it was like legit, like based on the ingredients that he was using. I was looking at it and I looked some of it up. I'm like, that would work. What he's doing, and it's on Instagram. I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay. I mean, I may or may not have cut and pasted the link to that particular video and saved it on a notepad just in case.
Right.
You never know when you might need that information. And
Yeah, when you need to make your own gunpowder.
yeah.
I guess.
Sometimes you need a little bit of explodey bits.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to, like, I have an Estes rocket that, I'm short a rocket motor, so I need to.
I thought you were about to say I've got an STD.
No. No, gunpowder and STDs don't mix. The more you know, kids. No, the Estes, the rockets, the little model rockets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're made by Estes. That's the company.
Yeah, ESTES.
Yes,
Yes.
Estes.
Yes.
Yes.
Why are we talking about this?
Because they're little motors, the rocket motors.
Okay, why are we talking about those?
It's like a solid rocket. It's like the same type of thing. You can make that powder hardened. You mix it with a combiner that makes it a solid,
Mm-hmm.
and if you put it through a nozzle, as it burns, it's going to give you thrust.
All I know is Dave's going like it's hardening, it thrust, you know.
And I don't think anybody could see those hand motions either. Like it's all below camera.
Right.
So it's just,
All I know is he's doing this. He's going like this. He's talking about thrust. Just like
I don't know why you had to make it sexual, Jason.
I don't know. That's just where my brain goes, I guess.
My penis so smooth.
Aw. So anyway, I just wanted to reiterate, as I'm sure everybody else has already seen, but in case you missed the boat, most of the big gaming companies are doing May the 4th sales for Star Wars through at least today or tomorrow.
Was there anything good? Like, did you see any?
Well, I actually bought something. I bought Jedi Survivor for $14 on PC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like through Steam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Steam's
I
doing
thought
the big.
you already had it.
I had it on Xbox, and I bought it on the PC for 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I already have it on. No, you know what? I had it on EA Play.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an EA Play account. So I played it that way.
Which was sort of like their own Game Pass kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. And then that EA Play combined with Xbox Live or Xbox Game Pass, so now it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But $14 on Steam, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't pass that up because I may or may not have recently gotten a new gaming PC. So, yeah, I've been looking for some stuff to test it out.
Really?
Yeah. Which, surprisingly, I didn't actually put into my week. Yeah, go figure. But
Good price? No?
good being relative. I mean, good hardware. Probably some of the best hardware you can get right now.
That's so as we talk about like a gaming PC or something like that, I've been wanting to replace this machine, not replace it, but like take this machine and be able to not use it so much for gaming,
right?
Or sim, because I run Flight Simulator off of this and all my gaming and everything else.
Yeah,
and it's hard on this,
right? Well, Flight Sim I think is one of the highest spec PC games right now.
Yeah, well, there's a brand new Flight Sim. So Flight Sim 2020 is what I spec this out for.
Okay, yeah, it's 2024 that's out now.
But that's when I bought this laptop was in 2020. So like when the Flight Sim specs came out, that's when I purchased this laptop.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was like, okay, what I'm going to max out whatever I can get and to make a machine an effective machine to run Flight Sim.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what this can do. And I've run Doom and a lot of good solid games off of it. But it's hard on it, and I have the cooling pad which helps, but it's really I'd like to just use it for school and work.
Sure.
And like make it more of a, or if I take it somewhere I could play a game or two, not stress the fucking thing out.
Yeah.
Playing a hard game like that. So the problem is that building the PC that I would really want to build, like kind of putting it together, would be fucking expensive.
Yeah. And the reason why I did this now, actually I ordered it about a month and a half ago, was because of the incoming tariffs and all that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get it before all of that shit took effect. So.
That's what I've been kind of thinking the same thing. But it's not it's a want, not a need at this point. So
yeah, we can
whatever.
We can talk about that later. But either way, if you're looking for any Star Wars games out there, this is probably the time to do it. The May the 4th sales, and I know Xbox and PlayStation are doing their own things as well. So it's not just PC; it's everywhere. So get on that. Also on May the 4th, that Tales from the Underworld came out, or Tales of the Underworld, which I haven't watched it yet, and quite frankly, I don't know when I'm going to be able to watch this because of, Andor and everything else going on.
I watched it.
Oh, you did?
All of it.
Oh. Okay.
We'll get into why I went in my week.
Okay. But basically, my question is when or if are we going to talk about this on the show? Quite frankly, it's probably not going to be until we're done with Andor and we do the.
Based on the timing of when this takes place, I don't think it has to be within a certain time frame. Like it has nothing to do with what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
So that is one of those where, hey, we need a topic to come back to, a Star Wars topic. Hey, let's cover that now.
Yeah.
Like now's a good time to do that. I think that's a perfect type of thing to do it with.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's just.
All right.
I'll talk more about it in my week.
So basically, if
I don't have much more than that in my week.
If you're wondering when we're going to talk about it, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. So, don't wait for us before you watch it for sure.
This morning when I was driving in, one of our fellow Star Wars podcasters had put out a review on it already.
Oh yeah.
So I give a lot of people their downloads for my podcasting things.
Yeah.
Because I do that for you, and I hope that you do that for us. Because we're all out there being content creators and doing whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't listen. I don't have time to listen to everything.
Right.
Because I don't want to listen. I want to listen to stuff. I don't want to have to need to listen to stuff. I don't want to oh my God, I have a stack of things I have to listen to and that's going to be fun. No, I don't. No, I don't. That's not even my Audible library. There's a bunch of stuff in there that I haven't read yet, but I don't want to read that. I want to read this. So that stuff can wait.
Yeah.
Just like the books on my bookshelf.
I'm that way with video games too. I'm like, I should be playing all these games that I bought and paid all this money for, but I don't want to play those. I want to play this one right now that just came out, or this one that
right, or this one that I've played 50,000 times, but I'm going.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The life we live.
Hey.
Speaking of our lives, are we ready to get into our weeks?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, good friend of the show, Mr. Bob Healy, had me over to his house this last weekend.
All right.
And he just finished putting in a brand new home theater system. And I'm talking all out. I'm talking like a fucking 100 and some odd inch TV. I'm talking theater style seats that recline and everything. Like a insane surround sound. And he gave me a pretty good demo of it. And we started off watching the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Which was pretty badass. And then I got him to throw on a bunch of Star Wars stuff. So we threw on Duel of the Fates. We threw on the Battle of the Heroes from Revenge of the Sith that we just got done watching not too long ago.
Did you put on that opening sequence when they're flying in and come over into the...
We didn't actually.
Oh, man, that's almost a must.
Yeah, but we were skipping around watching all kinds of good Star Wars stuff. The Ahsoka versus Maul battle in the last season of Clone Wars. I had him pull up the Ahsoka versus Balin from the Ahsoka show. It was great. It was just sort of a best of Star Wars scenes on his new big fucking home theater system.
Nice.
And man, it's impressive. And he mentioned we got to get together and do some sort of a Star Wars viewing.
Hell yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe we should do Rogue One. See if we can schedule a time where we can watch Rogue One at his place for the podcast. Because we're going to do Rogue One after Andor's over. So
yeah, we'll have to see what the forecasted dates look like.
Yeah.
Sidebar, real quick.
Yeah.
We'll come back to the gaming thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Steam right now.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. I do other stuff while you're talking.
Yes. It's well documented.
Yes. Star Wars Outlaws, still $70. All the other shit's on sale. Star Wars Outlaws is still $70. Fuck you. Fuck you. I am not spending $70 on that fucking game.
No.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, for something that was supposed to be a buggy mess when it first came out, that's a pass for me.
It would have to be giving out hand jobs to be fucking. This thing came out in November.
Yeah.
right? You're telling me that this game is still worth $70. I'd pay $70 for fucking Battlefront, 2015 Battlefront,
Yeah.
before I paid $70 for this fucking game.
Yeah.
They can eat shit and die.
Yeah, I find it hard paying 70 for any game, but definitely not this one.
Yeah. When I'm looking at all these other Star Wars games that I have already in my library, but which I didn't realize. Like, wow, I have a lot of these games already. Yeah. I have a lot of these games already.
Don't worry. I have them all too.
Oh, my Steam collection, it doesn't even lay a fart next to yours, so I believe me, it's not a dick waving contest here.
My penis so smooth.
But
Yeah.
it was the first one. It's at the very top I just did a search for Star Wars and
Oh.
it said Outlaws at the top, $70. I'm like, fuck no.
Yeah,
No.
that should already be down to like a $45 to $50 game.
I'll pay
standard.
15.
Yeah.
I'll be the guy in the back with the paddle. Like,
Mhm.
okay, we'll start the bidding at $70. 15.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I saw that and it pissed me off.
Yeah.
So
Understandable.
Rogue One at Healy's new
Home theater.
megaplex.
Yeah. So
The Healyplex.
something to think about.
Call it the Helioplex. Almost makes it seem like like a sun. No.
Yeah.
Healyplex would be better.
Yeah. Anyway, that was cool. That was pretty much the only thing I did this week.
They can't all hit shit, kids.
Besides getting my new gaming computer, which I've thrown a lot of stuff at this computer and everything's run it without a hiccup.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the reasons why I bought Jedi Survivor, because that's a fairly new game that had pretty high PC specs.
Yeah.
So, and it runs smooth as a Siamese cat's ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right then. Is it liquid cooled?
Yes.
Nice.
Wait, we talking about the Siamese cat's ass or my computer?
Both.
Yes.
Very good. I mean, technically, because blood flowing, and although I guess skin is naturally aspirated,
Yeah.
but blood flowing does have a cooling effect because you are moving heat from one spot to another.
Oh, shit. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
We have our own internal cooling system.
Yeah.
So it's not just the sweat that does it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's not. Let's move on.
Biology.
I don't. We don't need to get into a biology lesson here. I start school in October.
All right. Well, that's really it for me. So, what you been up to?
So the biggest thing that happened in the Martin household was a visit from the John.
Oh, that's right. He was supposed to be in town recently.
Yes, he came in, spent a couple nights at the house. He just happened to be in town down in DC. He popped up and he ended up all day Saturday, basically up at Drill because there was a change of command or something. So he was having some FaceTime up there.
Yeah.
So while he was there, that's when I was at work because I rode up with him, and then I ended up just sitting at my desk and doing airshow shit for like a solid 5 hours of work, unpaid. Anyway, my own fault. But where was I going with that? Oh, no. So he came up and we played a bunch of Battlefront.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And so
We're talking the 2015?
2015 Battlefront.
Okay.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you're talking about like the co-op survival mode? Okay.
Yeah, because we're still trying to get all stars.
Oh, really?
And in the co-op mode, we're trying to get, full stars. And I'll tell you, man, getting mastery and like no deaths is a motherfucker.
Yeah,
right?
I could imagine.
It just was, and we can't stay up like we used to either. So it's like it's like 11 o'clock, and both of us are like starting to slow down.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's time for bed. But yeah, it was fun, and unfortunately, on Sunday, Sunday he had to head back down and actually go pick up his boss from the airport.
Mm.
So it was a short visit, but it's good to see him. He's doing good, saving Antarctica one briefing at a time. So yeah, that was. I mean, honestly, that was the biggest thing. Playing some Battlefront, and so he never played Battlefront 2, the new version,
Oh,
the
really?
2017 version, because he hasn't had an Xbox since he moved from Florida.
Yeah. Which probably coincided around the time when he started having children as well.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
But they have a Switch that they play with, and it sounds weird. It's a weird sentence. Switch they play with. Anyway, but yeah, they're not playing things like Battlefront or anything like that.
Right.
So she's super into Minecraft, like mega into
Yeah.
Minecraft.
Pretty much, I feel like every kid nowadays goes through a Minecraft phase. All three of mine did.
Yeah, but she's like, the unreal part is like, we've been doing this for 8 years, and like she's turning 7.
Oh.
Right? It's like Anyway, so I fire up Battlefront 2 Saturday night, and I'm like, hey, kind of talking about it and trying to get into the co-op mode, and it's like can't figure out why it won't go into split screen.
Mm-hmm.
We go on the interwebs and try and find it. It's like, oh, the blah 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 arcade mode, blah blah blah. Can't find it. Fuck it, going back to Battlefront 2015. So we go back into that, and then it's like we're like just getting ready to like finish. Like, all right, we managed to get the fucking 4th star on this thing. We're like, yes. And I'm like, let me open up Battlefront 2 again, just for grins and giggles. And I go and I find the arcade part that it was talking about.
Uh-huh.
And so I fired up the split screen, and so we started playing it, and it wasn't bad.
Right.
It's just not as good as 2015, but the co-op, like the split screen for like, if just sitting around playing,
Yeah.
with a buddy, it's not bad.
Is it the same style of thing where you're like kind of surviving like waves of enemies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not all of them. There's different mission types.
Okay. So a little bit more than
Yeah, so it each thing, there's like a sequence of things that you do and with different levels, and each one has like a different story type.
Mhm.
So it is a little bit more detailed,
Okay.
but it's still the same gameplay as Battlefront 2. So the stuff that we have issues with Battlefront 2,
Yeah.
it's still there, but he enjoyed the being battle droids. When you're on Naboo and you're like,
Oh yeah.
being a battle droids, so he had fun with that. And what I do like about that game, and I didn't really remember, was some of the worlds. Like,
Yeah.
being in Yavin and kind of going through Yavin and like where the planning areas were, and then going down into the basements and kind of going around there. And I was like, wow, man, they did a lot of work in this game, but they just missed it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, you almost had it, you almost fucking had it, and then but you just missed whatever. Like, it's like you forgot to put that last coat of paint on it, and it just never shone properly.
Because it just nothing ever felt right about that game, and I can't describe it. But
no, going back and playing 2015, and you could see some of the cosmetic errors in it, but overall, like, it's still such a superior game. You just wish that it had more stuff to play.
yeah.
But yeah, oh god, dude, that game is fucking 10 years old.
Fuck. Well, yeah,
It's
because
10 years old and it still holds up.
Yeah,
We played the shit out of it.
we did.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. And then, this weekend, still playing it, still having fun. So, I don't know. Don't while you're on Steam buying your shit, you can go in there and you can buy Battlefront for pretty cheap.
I'm sure you can probably get it for like $3 or something.
Probably. And worth every fucking penny.
Yeah. I don't know how many online games are available anymore, but,
No, but even just playing that mode
yeah.
is just fun. Running around trying to stay alive, it's
Yeah, and you're in Star Wars with the music and
that's honestly that's one of the biggest things is the music.
yeah, they integrated the music so well into that game.
When you're in a little bit of distress and you're kind of running around and trying not to get fucking killed, and the John Williams music is like crescendoing, and you're like, and you're just like, oh my god, stop it, John Williams! You're stressing me out. So much fun, but yeah, buy that off of Steam. What was the other thing? I had one other thing. Fuck. Oh, Star Wars Day. So I pre-ordered the Lego Star Wars like sign. Yeah, so it's basically Star Wars. It says like see Star Wars, the traditional script.
Yeah.
Right? So it's Star Wars, but in Lego as a freestanding like sign.
Oh.
It's about yay thick and about yay tall.
Okay.
Right?
Nice.
Fun little build. It's only like 700 pieces, so it's not like a huge build.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a little Easter egg as part of it. I'll let you guys who buy it figure it out. And I used like a bunch of Lego points to get a bunch of money off of it. So I didn't spend that much money. It's only like, I think it's like $60, I think is the retail it's going for. But it's such a nice, it's a small enough piece where you could have it like on your desk and it's not like taking over the whole thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's like, it stands out so much. I mean, I love to figure out how to jigger it so we can make Star Killer. Like it'd be very easy to do.
Oh, like a Lego version?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And with this cool. Using the same modality.
Yeah.
It's just something I have to put some brain bites into after the air show. But yeah, it was a cool little build. So I was like, John had left, and I was like, all right, I finally got my fucking haircut. Going once a month and getting a haircut I can't do it. Like,
why? What's the issue?
If my hair touches my ears, or it's like I feel it on my neck, like if my shirt collar, like if my hair touches it at all, I want to tear my skin off with a rusty nail. Like I feel every fucking hair that's touching it. It's not supposed to.
Yeah, you were plugged into the system for too long.
I was. My inputs are so wacky. Like whatever, skin stuff that I should feel, I don't, and things that I shouldn't feel, I do type thing.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. Like, all right, the weirdness of Dave, right? Here you go. Open the book. But like something like that, like if my hair's a little bit long at all, fucking, I can't. I get to a point where I'll start itching. It bothers me so much.
Right.
And then like my fingernails, like you see my hands?
I can see them, yes.
Yes. Do you see my fingernails?
They're quite short.
Yes. That's too long. That I want to cut my fingernails right now. Like that bothers me.
There's no more room for them to be cut.
Yeah, to see that white? That white has to go.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I'll show the studio audience or whatever. Yeah. That's
too long for Dave.
Yeah. Focus. Yeah. That is a nightmare.
Riveting for the audio audience.
Yeah. But that little bit of white, I'll start to bite at it a little bit. I'll start to get the knife out and start to file at it a little bit. Like it starts to bother me. And I feel like, oh man, I'm starting to get stuff underneath my nails. Like you just have this imagery of just Yoda fucking holding on to the fucking Senate, with this nail length, impossible. Right. You know what the function of your nail is, right?
Protect your fingertips?
No, it's part of your sensory organ, right? So, in order for you to feel that there's pressure here, you need to have a back plate.
Oh,
so it's physics. So by pressing here, there's a solid behind it. So it's actually,
so you can feel that difference there.
Yeah. That's why if you lose toenails after running a marathon or something like that, it's really bad for you because now it's going to throw your balance off because your toes and your sensation of balance is going to be off because now your toes you're not going to sense the ground the same way.
Do people lose their toenails when they run marathons?
Yes. All the time.
I'd never heard that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Running is bad for you. It just is.
Yeah. Well, thankfully I haven't been doing it much lately.
Yeah. Well, there's other things you can do.
Yeah.
The bike is perfectly fine. Go swimming. There's good cardio out there to be had. You don't have to go out there and run like a fucking idiot.
Why do they got to be idiots?
Runners are getting to the point where they're worse than cyclists. I'm just saying.
I do see a lot of runners out these days. And it's not just because the weather's warming up. I mean, just in general, I see more runners than in previous years.
All right. What time is it?
5:43.
We're still in the window.
Okay.
What was I going to talk about?
Runners.
I hate this demonstrative marathon runner, right? This person that is just, I ran a marathon. Oh, look at how good I am. Or I'm training for a marathon. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, people need goals. People need workout goals and they need things to strive for and things like that. And that's awesome. Good. That is fine.
Mm-hmm.
For you, your family, whatever. It doesn't need to be broadcast anywhere. You don't need to go on the Broad Street Run.
Right.
What, unless you're doing it to raise money for something, a lot of money, but so many people, it's they're doing it for attention. They're doing it because this is the fad. It's like there was a CrossFit fad. Everyone was doing fucking CrossFit.
Oh yeah. And CrossFit was like being vegan. They always had to tell everybody about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You knew everyone who you knew did. All right. Words, Dave. Words. Everyone you knew that did CrossFit, you knew exactly who it was because they told you.
Yes.
And runners are the same. It's the same thing. Hey, it's not a secret that they ran a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to tell you that they ran a marathon.
Yeah.
Hey, they ran a half marathon. Oh, look at their car. They got a 12 and a half and 3/4 sticker on their fucking car or whatever. I don't fucking care that you ran a goddamn marathon. What good did that do you?
My last commander before I retired not only was very proud of the marathons he had run, but he had pictures of himself finishing these marathons in his office. His little participation thing that said, you finished this marathon on this day and blah, blah, blah.
There's a point where there's such negative return on your body that it's okay, now you're doing this and you're just hurting yourself.
Right.
by doing it.
Yeah, because running a marathon can't be good for you overall.
No, I don't give a fuck about runner's high or any of this other bullshit. Like, it's just, I just, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And if you're really doing it for yourself or for goals or whatever, the best thing would be that not everybody would know about it.
Right.
Like, hey, if I go and do something and I don't need everyone in the world to fucking know about it, because it's just, that's between me and my support structure.
Yeah.
Right. It just so happens that for me, I do a podcast and I need shit to talk about. Right. So just by default, people know shit that I do, but not everything.
Right.
I mean, we're still fairly selective.
Yeah. Somebody at work could come up to you one day and be like, "Oh, Dave, I noticed you're in great shape. What do you do?" And then you could impart your, "Oh, well, I just happen to,
If round was a shape, then yes, I'd probably have that conversation. But
I'm just saying hypothetically."
that would be there's hypothetical, and then there's like science fiction. Not even regular fiction. It'd have to be science fiction.
Okay.
Because no, I'm never going to be.
I'm just, again, using
Like,
this as an example.
50 years old, Jason, this year. 50.
Oh, God.
Like, I'm not going to ever be in that kind of shape, and I shouldn't be. Right?
Right.
But I want to be in good enough shape where I can, like, live longer.
Mm.
Right? So I want to be able to go out and I can walk around and I want play 18 holes of golf. That's my goal.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play 18 holes of golf. So long as I can keep doing that, then I'm happy.
Okay.
That means I'm flexible enough to move. I can walk a reasonable amount. Because even if you're in a cart, you still have to walk around a lot.
Mm.
But ideally, walking on the course is better. And you can just walk. You can just go for a walk. You can go for a 12-mile long walk if you really wanted to.
Mm.
You know what else you could do? You could go for a walk with a camera and you could take pictures of things.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, you could do things that like have other meaning than just I'm going to go run forever, right? And then tell everybody about it.
Mm.
It's just dumb. It's running's bad for you.
All right. Fair enough.
Anyway, how do we get on this topic?
I have no idea. I was thinking the same thing.
How the fuck did we get here? What happened?
We were still on your week, so is that over now, or are we?
I wanted to talk about something for my week, and we divulged into this other thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much of a we there was to that, but
it's all your fault. You know, you lead this shit show.
Though there's one part where I never have control, and that's when we talk about your weeks. Then it's everything's out of my hands at that point.
Let's face it, Jason. Your control is suspect.
Sure.
Hang on. Let me look at the notes. I may have put something in the notes. What I put in the notes? Oh, I put. That's not very helpful for this scenario.
No.
Oh no. So I was talking about the Lego thing, right?
Oh, right. I don't know how the fuck we got to running from Legos.
And me either. So I did the Lego thing, and since I was putting the Lego thing together, I'm like, the best thing to do while I'm putting this together is to watch Star Wars.
Of course.
So I watched my 3 episodes of Andor, and then I was still putting this thing together. So I'm like, all right, well, what am I going to watch now? I watched the Tales of the Underworld.
Oh, yeah.
So I got through all that. Well, I had 1 episode left after I finished building the thing. And I just watched the last episode because it was there.
Yeah.
So we talked about it before the show, or was that on the show?
That was on the show about when or if
we were going to do it.
Pod.
Yeah. So those things I said earlier, I said those things again.
Okay.
Like, just go ahead and same thing.
Yeah, and we'll cover it when we cover it.
Yeah, it was fine. You know, there's 2 main stories.
Right. The Ventress and what's his name?
Ventress and Cad Bane.
Yeah.
It's fine. Ventress story we're kind of familiar with, honestly, and the.
Wait a minute. Is one of the stories a retelling of that book? The Dark Apprentice book or whatever it was with her and what's his name? Quinlan Voss?
Yeah, but Quinlan Voss isn't in it.
Oh, okay.
But you recognize this part of it.
Okay.
So, yes, it connects to that, but it's not that.
Okay, gotcha.
I wish it was, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
The Cat Bane one was actually pretty good. I
Yeah.
like how they did it.
Okay.
It was predictable, but I like how they did it. And they're short episodes. They're like, 15, 16 minutes each.
How many episodes are there?
I want to say there was 8.
Damn.
I think there was 4 each. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not terrible, but it'll be a good, like, hey, we're in between Star Wars content. Let's cover that.
Okay.
So that's it. Star Wars Day, had Star Wars shit to build. Let's do it. Oh, and I went to fucking my local Lego place, and they had the posters in the car. Fuck.
You're not getting the posters. Don't worry about it.
You say that. Anyway, the local Lego store, they had a big May the 4th thing. Really cool. I love seeing a local place kind of like have success.
Yeah.
Especially if it's one of the places I frequent.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had some cosplayers there.
Really?
That were not good. Sorry. Like the guy that had them was as Maul. Like the makeup was good, but like the overall was not good. But the guy in Darth Vader, they had a tall guy as Darth Vader, and he was tall, and he had a Darth Vader mask on. That's it. Like it looked like he had a kid's costume on.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like looking at it, going like, "Nah, sorry, dude, you're not. I shouldn't see your neck right now."
Right.
Like you see the white of his neck. Like it's just like, dude, that's not. You're not doing it. And there was a Princess Leia there. It was like, what did my face just do? I don't know. But the artist that drew these posters, it's like of Lego figures. It's a Lego Darth Maul. It was a poster for the giveaway. So if you bought something, you'd get it was like 10% off all the Star Wars stuff. But it had Star Wars minifigures like you could put together. So it was like, so you could actually like dig through Star Wars minifigure parts and you could build one. It was like 3 for $15 or something like that. 3 for 13, I think it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was cool. I managed to squeeze that in as well because I wanted to see what they were doing, and yeah, got a poster, got a cup I could fill with bulk Lego.
Yep,
which I did, of course. Had to do some sorting because of it. I got a couple of projects I'm trying to finish, and yeah, it was good to support local business.
All right,
and that's it.
Cool. Well, I guess we're ready to get to the main topic then.
Yes.
Do you need a pee break or anything?
No.
You really want to get that poster, don't you?
I do. I want to get that
poster. All right, well then let's take a break. You get the goddamn poster, and then we'll come back and be back after this very quick word from our sponsors.
Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste, it's a grin, it's a groove, it's a blast. Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste, it's a win, it's a definite blast. Colt 45, and loaded with dynamite taste. So grab one, down one, get yourself around one. Colt 45, malt liquor, Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste.
let's see what's going on in the chats. All right, we got Smirking Bear in the house. We got Helmet Fire. We got Bronco Fett. Sponsored by Colt 45. That's right. And Tom, you've been around since the beginning. That actually goes back to one of our very first episodes, like probably within the first 10 episodes. Dave said something about Lando and the Colt 45 commercials that he did. And I didn't remember them or something like that. And we ended up talking about it for a few minutes on the show. And that eventually led into the Colt 45 sponsors of the podcast.
Yeah, that was really early.
Yeah. Like I seriously think it was within the first dozen episodes.
Yeah.
So, all right. Whenever you're ready, play us back and we'll,
oh man, we got to do that dumb
thing. We got DJ Dave over here.
Just trying to remix that 30 seconds thing because the fucking music is so lame.
Yeah. All right. So you went out, you grabbed this this poster. So let's see what you got here. For those of you who are listening to the audio, Dave has a poster of Lego Darth Maul with the logo "May the Fourth be with you" on there.
And it's the picture of the Bricks and Minifigs store.
Oh, I guess that is the actual store in the background there.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's their logo there. And this is the one, like if you search for them on Instagram, it's Bricks and Minifig Cherry Hill. But they're actually, they're right behind the Wawa.
There's a lot of Wawas.
On 38. Like next to the Morristown Mall,
where the old Toys R Us used to be, in that shopping center.
I don't know if the Toys R Us was there, because it's a strip mall that's been there for a minute.
Yeah, well,
it's next to a furniture store.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of a different spot.
But yeah, there's a PJ Houlihan's. And there's a Wawa across the street.
Yeah.
And then behind the Wawa is where this strip mall is.
Oh, gotcha.
It's right there.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a nice big store. And they got 4 giant tables of Legos to sort through. And, yeah. Owner's super nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. Good. Support small business.
Wonder how he, like, I guess, does he buy Lego sets and then resell them?
He doesn't have to buy shit, man. People walk in there all the time. When I'm in there looking for something, like I'll stop after work, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend $8 and get a bucket of a small bucket of assorted, and I'll be in there sorting, and people will just come in with a bin of Lego, and they're like, okay, let's see how much this is worth. And
yes, that's what I'm saying. So he'll buy people's Lego collections and add them to his like miscellaneous bins and stuff like that.
Like especially the mixed stuff is like that. I mean, I think some people bring in, like here in this collection, it's like if some mom brings in like shit that's been banged up, they'll actually put together. If they see a set, they'll put it together, and then they put that set on the shelf for sale.
Right.
As something that's incomplete, or like, hey, this was, it's a used set, and they'll try and put it together as much as possible, but won't have a box or anything.
Right.
So they're not repackaging a lot of stuff. If you wanted to go and buy something off the shelf, like the chessboard that we bought for Ryan, it was, it was complete. It was missing one part. which I got. Did I send that out to him? Irrelevant. Anyway, yeah, it's just like you said. People come in. The one thing is, like, if you have a bin of Legos and you take it to them, they're very forthcoming and saying, like, you're going to be better off trying to get your money's worth on Marketplace.
Right.
Because they have so much loose Lego that they're not competing per pound the same way as they are on the outside.
Huh.
Yeah, and but they tell you right away.
Well, that's good.
And if you call in, like, they'll tell you the same thing. So, I appreciate that. Like,
Yeah,
from so many places want to fucking just fleece you. It's like, oh yeah, well, we're giving you the best price, and then take all your shit.
Kind of like GameStop. Oh, that game, we can give you $12 for it, and then turn around and sell it for $50.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this place isn't like that. So it's nice.
All right. Cool. So we ready to get into some Andor?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's hop into the second part of season 2.
Right.
And
season 2, part 2, the steamy side.
yeah, we
So smooth.
lot of steamy stuff going on in this series of episodes.
Yeah.
And this all takes place 1 year after the last series of
Yes.
episodes, so we're now up to 3 BBY.
I love that they're doing this.
Yeah.
I love seeing that, knowing exactly where we are
Mhm.
in this timeline.
Right, which means so next season or next series of episodes that comes out tomorrow, there's going to be 2 and then 1, I guess.
I guess.
Though
Or they could skip ahead.
they might have to skip if this series ends like right at the beginning of Rogue One, then they're going to have to skip a year. They're going to have to do a 2-year jump, either between now and the next episodes or between the 3rd and the 4th
Oh.
parts. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yes, I like how they're spelling this out. And what's really interesting is that they're not specifying what BBY means. So they're just assuming that those of us who are watching it know what that means. And any casual fans who are watching are...
Oh, that's true. I wonder what the casuals are thinking when they see that.
Yeah. Now, who knows how many casuals are actually watching Andor? But, it's gotten a lot of buzz, so maybe.
I don't...
But
It
yeah.
is true. I wonder how the public is taking it.
Yeah. Of course, Disney never gives out streaming numbers, so
Yeah.
we'll never really know for sure. But anyway,
What if they do it to stockholders?
it's a good question. But I don't know the answer to that. Anyway, so we start off with episode 4, and we jump right into more Bix nightmares. Because, we had it in the last series of episodes, and now she's having more dreams about Dr. Gorsk in this series of episodes. Because, she's still fucking traumatized from what happened to her back on Morlana. No, Morlana 1 was the place where Cyril was from.
Yes.
Fuck, what was the name of their planet?
Oh,
Shit, I can't remember. Either way.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't stress about it. So yeah, she's still having those nightmares, and she's starting to like wake up with a fucking gun in her hand and start waving the gun around to where Cassian has to like sneak up behind her and fucking grab it out of her hand before she starts shooting shit up in this safe house.
Yeah, I mean, hey, and like kind of a spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler. Why is that a hard word?
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. Words are hard for me today.
I can see that.
I think my brain is just so wrung out after a day of work.
And it's only Monday.
It's only Monday. There are some really heavy things happening in this particular episode.
Yeah.
You know, when you're talking about like PTSD from a traumatic event, when you're talking about drug use, suicidal ideations, like there is all kinds of this shit is in this episode.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what we wanted from Andor. This is like, all right, this is not Star Wars. This is not your kid's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right. This is the grittiness that we wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, what was my point of that? Don't show this to the kids.
Right. Yeah, because it is some heavy stuff, and it's
because they're gonna go find eyedroppers and think, oh, this looks good. I'm gonna put this in my mouth because I'm gonna get woo.
or like,
Yeah.
oh, Bix really likes drugs, so maybe we'll
Right.
try him too.
Yeah, start putting eye drops in there, start throwing up violently.
Yeah.
I wonder if it works the same way on people that it does on dogs. With eye drops.
I couldn't tell you.
I told you about that, right? That's how we got the induced vomiting for the dogs when we had the vomit.
Oh, I remember that whole
Vomapalooza?
story. Yeah.
Anyway, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's going on with Bix, and her and Cassian are now staying in the safe house on Coruscant.
Right.
So they're living in the heart of the Empire now, and they're just sort of getting used to it. But the whole time, Bix is she's having issues. But for the most part, these two are going on missions together now, as part of Luthen's crew, essentially. And they're in between missions at the moment. Ferrix, thank you. So many, and they introduce new fucking planets and new names and shit every episode too. And it's stop it.
I'd have to be writing it down constantly, and I'm not doing that. So
Yep.
I don't even write notes. Why the fuck would I write down all of the planets?
I know, right? So while that's going on with the story with Cassian and Bix, we've got another story going on with Cyril on Gorman. So Gorman's the planet that the Empire wants to rape.
Right.
And steal all the minerals from, and then leave it in a piling, piece of space junk.
Right.
So Cyril's there, and he's just working for the Bureau of Standards, like he was over on Coruscant,
Right.
but now he's working in the Gorman office.
Right. And he's in charge.
Yeah.
Got himself a high position.
Mm-hmm. And he, we're led to believe, based on this phone call he has with his mom early on, that he was sort of ostracized. Gorman was a shit assignment that he got, sent to get him out of the way. Allegedly, him and Deidre weren't together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all coming from his mother, who's like, oh, you
Right.
had all this stuff going for you. You had a woman who actually wanted to build a life with you, and you blew it all away, or you gave it all away to go to Gorman.
Right.
So come to find out, though, he's doing some spy games.
Yes. So I don't think anybody was fooled as to why
Right.
Cyril was at Gorman.
Right.
I think what was interesting was that they trusted Cyril to be able to do this.
Yeah, because it was kind of a big job.
Yeah, this is the same guy that fucking went and had a meltdown after his mom embarrassed him
Yeah.
at dinner the other night.
Mhm.
And Deidre saw this and still was like, "Oh yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy.
The sad sack of
Right.
man who was laying on his bed after
Right.
his mom.
This is the guy that we're gonna put out there and be like, hey, you're gonna be this person, but don't give away that this is happening."
But I mean, to be fair, I feel like he did his job pretty damn well.
He did. He did exactly what he was told.
Like, he seemed like he fit perfectly. And
Yeah.
I mean, jumping ahead, there was the scene where he's briefing the guy, or him and Deidre are briefing the main guy over at the ISB.
Would it ruin the moment if I said this is the best day of my life?
Yeah. That was so good.
It's good to see you happy.
Yeah. But anyway,
That was fucking hilarious.
yeah, we'll get back to this first episode. And part of the conversation with his mom is you get a clue of the propaganda, the Gorman propaganda that the Empire has been, putting out there.
Mhm.
Like, everybody's starting to be suspectful of them. They don't really have a good opinion of Gorman anymore.
Right.
So clearly the propaganda is working because it got his mom. So, the the Fox News machine on on Coruscant is doing its job.
Yeah.
And it's painting Gorman in a very poor light, which is going to ease the blow when the ISB decides to, execute their final plan and do what they need to with Gorman. Well, not just the ISB, the Empire in general. But they're using the ISB as the...
Right. The ISB is the muscle to do this.
As the means to get this started. So he gets approached by the Gorman front, the people who are the rebels on Gorman.
The French resistance. Right?
Right.
This was I think there was an over alliteration here.
You think so?
With the French language-ish thing that they were
I did
doing.
notice that, yeah.
Because it wasn't French.
No, but it had that
But it was definitely...
accent.
I get maybe it was the equivalent of Pig Latin French.
Sure.
Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, you're accenting words, but not... It's definitely not French.
Right,
These
you're
are
not speaking the language, but you're...
Which, great. I mean... I love the detail. I love the, hey, you're making up a new language for just to be built upon. But the fact that you thought you needed to hit us in the face with the fact that this is like, vive la resistance. It's just a little much. It's just a little heavy-handed, I thought. Like I do not need your French accent, to believe your resistance.
Right.
I just didn't need it.
Yeah, no, they definitely lean heavy into it.
I mean, did you out there, like, did you need that? Did you need it to be in a French accent? I mean, or did I don't? Is that something that's known?
You would think, at least in general,
like. Or do you have to like Les Mis, like have seen Les Mis maybe? Like what would the current generation have to have known to understand it? Like this was the fact that they have this accent has a meaning to it.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
What are the kids? I'd have to talk to the kids. Like, not my kids. My kids know Les Mis and all the other stuff, but the kids at work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you saw Andor.
What do you know about the French Revolution?
Yeah, what do you think of the accents? What was that about?
Uh-huh.
And see what they say. I'd be curious. You should do your own interviews. See what that sounds.
Ha ha ha. Anyway,
and that's interesting. So for Bronco Fett, said it sounded like more of a Portuguese accent, but you speak Portuguese. And, I have a very low college level French that I still am bad at Duolingo with. So to my ear, it sounded more like French. It's, you're still talking Romantic languages.
Well, if it helps, I have zero knowledge of French or Portuguese, and it sounded French to me.
Yeah, there you go.
So
see, there it is. Anyway.
Yeah, like I picked up on that. Like specifically, I'm like, are they like all supposed to be French people?
La resistance lives on.
Yeah. So in this whole Gorman front, they're spying on Cyril because they're looking for an Imperial insider.
Right.
Now, I don't know what initially got them on Cyril to get them to bug his office and, sneak into his apartment and watch him from the outside.
Soft target, I guess. I mean,
yeah,
he's living by himself. I guess they figured they could honeypot him or something.
Mm-hmm. Which it never came to that, but
no, I think he did realize he was like a eunuch because he had the one girl looking at him kind of, and he didn't really react to it. So I think they waved off on that.
Well, hold on, but that's because he's got Deidre waiting for him on Coruscant, ready to tell him to turn out the lights. Ow, 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 ow.
He needs somebody to be stern with him.
Yes.
Otherwise, he's very afraid of girls.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is the Gorman front, and they're trying to get Cyril. They eventually get one of the guys that's selling goods in their like courtyard to approach him and say, "Hey,
Spiders.
yeah, these spiders we're selling." And he's like, "I already have some." He's like, "Oh, but this is a special one. There's a note inside.
Yeah.
Not suspicious at all."
No. The worst fieldcraft ever. And the spiders. Like, all right, so we've been talking about spiders with Gorman,
Yeah.
and it's been kind of in the abstract, right?
Mhm.
And then these 3 episodes, like, oh no, they're actual spiders they're talking about.
Yeah, they're weaving all this thread.
Yeah. And then they're selling spiders as like gifts. Like, here's your stuffed spider.
Well,
Here's your spider hat, kids.
well, think about it. They're selling it to tourists, right? So what do people know about Gorman? They know it's like full of spiders that weave all this cloth.
How do you get it past customs when you get back? You're gonna let a fucking here's this freeze dried spider get back through customs?
Well, they're not real spiders.
I believe that they are.
You think they are?
I think that's what I think they're freeze dried spiders that they're
No.
they're stuffing with music boxes and shit.
No, they're like toy spiders.
That did not look like a toy spider. They made that to look like it was a real spider on a stick.
Oh. Huh.
That's what I think anyway.
Well, it's got to be part of their economy is the selling of the spiders. So
Guess what planet I would never ever go to?
Gorman.
Gorman. Because fuck you, fuck your fucking spiders. I'm nuke it. Fucking where's the Death Star? Bring it the fuck over here.
Oh, don't worry. The Empire's got a plan for Gorman along
no.
those same lines.
No, it's not soon enough. Get rid of that spider-ridden fucking planet. Dude, no fucking way.
Not a fan of spiders, are you?
I'm not a fan of spiders.
Okay.
Spiders, no. You ever been to Manas?
Probably.
So back a while ago, in the olden days, of early flying, we park in Manas and we're heading out. We had a whole adventure out at the fucking jet with these guys that they thought they were still in the Soviet era, the hats and the whole thing, and it was a thing. So we get off the jet and we're heading to a hotel, and we're in the FBO van or whatever. And as we're driving through the airport, we're looking at all these airplanes, like these Russian-built airplanes. We're like, and there's like spider webs on them, like they've been in a museum that has never had the doors open before. Like just huge spider webs, just like off of like wow. How fucking long have these planes been here? It's like it was weird.
Yeah.
It was just weird. It's like it's just airplane yard full of like, and I'm talking like big airplanes, like big multi-engine airplanes. So we go back, things happen, go back to the jet the next day. Okay. We're talking 17 hours, less than 17 hours later.
Okay.
One of our normal stops. Get out to the jet. Our fucking jet is covered in spider webs.
Oh shit.
And when you get closer, so you could kind of see it as the airplane was obviously going to hide the color of these webs.
Right.
But you could still kind of see it. And as you were getting closer to the airplane, like the dirty spots of the plane, you could see it. And as you got closer, you could see like movement.
Ooh.
And you could see the spiders moving on the fucking airplane.
Wow.
Yeah. It was, I'm not getting out of this fucking van. The loadmaster can go out there and fucking go ahead, open the jet. And as soon as you say the coast is clear, I'll get my happy ass in that fucking airplane, rack a fucking M9, and I'll be in the back. Don't you fucking come near me. Don't open the pocket doors. Don't do shit. You're going to get shot. Fuck you. Fuck your spiders. Fuck. Less than 24 hours, dude. It looked like our airplane had been there for fucking 80 years.
Jeez.
Like, and you, like things like this big were just moving around. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, fuck that.
So we ended up having like, I don't know what their chief, I don't know what the crew chief said, but we ended up getting in a jet, made sure there was nothing in the jet, went in the E&E bay, did the whole thing. But when we took off, we like flew with the gear down for like, I don't know, like 15 miles, like all the way up to like, I think we were up to like 5,000 feet with the gear down.
Oh, damn.
To make sure that we fucking blew out any of these motherfuckers that might have been living in there.
Right.
Dude, it was fucking terrifying.
Oh, my God.
Fuck you. Fuck your fucking spiders. Fuck Uzbekistan. Fuck. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
So fuck Gorman is what you're saying.
Fuck
also.
Gorman.
All right.
Fuck your weaving fucking spider bullshit.
Right. Well, either way, these spiders are no longer living that they're selling, and he sells one to Cyril that's got the meeting location of the next Gorman front
Right.
get together.
Which is a town hall.
Yeah. Which.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems a weird thing to like. I guess you're. So all right. Let's back it up. All right. If I'm testing this guy, right?
Mhm.
To see if we're testing this target. We're gonna see if he's actually gonna be responsive. So we'll hit him with like a. All right. I'm gonna hit you with an invitation, a secret invitation to a public event.
Right.
But you're gonna not know the difference. You're not gonna notice that we're just kind of testing you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the assumption anyway.
Right. Because
he picks up on. Because when he
Sure.
briefs Deidre, he says it.
Right, and we know that a majority of these people that are at the town hall are not part of the smaller crew that do the heist later.
Right.
In fact, there's one guy in here who makes a problem for the people doing the heist later.
Right.
But we'll get into that when we get
Right.
there.
Gaston
Yeah.
goes marching in there.
Also, during all this time, we don't get to see Mon Mothma much in these 3 episodes. She's mostly trying to get votes for something that is going to be good for Gorman.
So it's the. Oh fuck! I can't remember. It was like the Anti-Establishment Act for Gorman or something. It had something to do with making an imperial base on Gorman or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting these like flashes into her working over like these senators.
Yeah. And she's not doing a very good job because almost none of them are.
None of them want to fucking touch it.
Yeah.
Because, like government, how government works. Like they all have, they have an idea that there's more to it than just this.
Right.
So they're like, no, this isn't. We don't have anything to do with this.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going against the Empire on this. We're not going against the Emperor on this.
Yeah. One guy specifically said that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we don't really get to see her much in these 3 episodes until we get to the end. So, Lonnie, the spy that they have in the ISB, meets with Luthen to let him know what's going on. That they've got the people infiltrating the Gorman front, and the Deidre is part of that, and that this other guy is now on the Axis case.
Right.
So, and Luthen basically tells this guy, all right, I'm going to be needing to see you more often because shit's starting to really,
Right.
It
was 3 months. Like 3 months is too long.
Yeah.
Like, are you up to date with your code key? Then fucking, be ready.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he lets him know that shit's starting to go down and he's going to need his help more and more often. We have the town hall meeting, which just is a little bit more of them getting Cyril's trust or vice versa. We hear about the Tarkin massacre, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess it took place right about the time at the dawn of the Empire, where Tarkin was going to, I guess, land a ship like right in the middle of the town square. And there were people that wouldn't fucking move, so just.
Well, they denied him landing clearance.
Right.
And he's like, well, fuck it, I'm going to land anyway. And they were like, no, you can't land here.
Yeah.
And they're like, in protest, they stood there. And he's like, well, it's like that tractor trailer full of hot dogs when the vegans are standing in front of it. And the tractor trailer driver's like, no, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I won't even feel you go underneath this truck.
Right.
And Tarkin did the same thing. It's like, all right, you vegans. Hippies suck in every galaxy.
That's right.
And just fucking parked his fucking truck on top of these innocents.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's a monument in the center of town now that's dedicated to that.
Right.
I think also I skipped the part where Luthen contacts Cassian and is basically telling him like, "Hey, I'm sending you to Gorman, basically to assess these guys, this Gorman front, these rebels."
Yeah.
You know,
and Cassian. Well, I love how they're hailed with the bat signal. Like,
oh
basically,
yeah,
like
the
the lights blinking, and she's all stoned.
Yeah.
Which Cassian's like, oh man, she must be really sleepy. Right?
Yeah.
Dude.
No, she's on another planet right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Luthen sends Cassian over to Gorman, and when Cassian's fucking leaving, him and Bix do this weird fucking little mating ritual. You see part of it in one of the trailers for the show where they're like touching hands and going around and it's
touching you.
Yeah, it's
sweet Bix and hands. Burp, burp, burp.
My penis so smooth.
Yeah, just very weird. You know, they're like making out, and it's just a very awkward scene.
Remember, not Judge Dredd, John Spartan. You were fine.
Something man, Demolition Man.
Yeah, like and Sandra Bullock's got the the
sex
wreaths,
machines.
Yeah, they put on their head.
Yeah,
like, you know, that's what it reminded me of. Something like that.
All right.
What? There's no touching.
Yeah. Smirking Bear Studio says it's the Ferrex mating ritual.
There you go. Because they got to do everything different in Ferrex.
Mm-hmm.
They turn people into bricks.
Yeah.
Because Ferrex, the bricks of Ferrex.
Right.
And then to have sex, you gotta get your hands up there.
So we also see Saw Gerrera in this one.
Uh-huh.
And did you notice like where they are? Like where his little group is?
It seems like they're in like Yavin.
Almost, but you know what I think it is? I think it's the place where the rebels, where the resistance were in Force Awakens.
Oh yeah,
the Ilenium system. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they were. It looked like those same style of bunkers that they were living out of.
It's true.
With that big like kind of runway.
Yeah,
going in between them all.
No, I agree. It does look a lot like that. It was definitely, it gave you that feel that like we've seen this before.
Yeah, and I don't know if it indeed is the Helmet Fire saying it's 100% is. But yeah, it looks like it's the Ilenium system. And yeah, they've got the little terrorist boy there with them, Cassian's little buddy.
Right.
And he's building them a weapon or something. And basically Saw's kind of holding him hostage. He's like, hey, I was just supposed to set this thing up for you guys. And then
I'm here to train a trainer.
Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to go.
Right.
Like tomorrow. My DTS says that my travel's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have one travel day. So I got to go.
Right. And Saw's like, no, I'm altering the deal.
Right.
Pray I don't alter it any further.
Variations are authorized.
Yeah.
DTS humor.
Yeah. Some people get it.
Yeah, some people get it.
So
anyway, the terrorist boy is there.
Yeah.
And it's like so it's weird. It took me till really the third episode to kind of figure out like what this thing is with the what did they call it?
The gas or whatever?
No. The gas is important, but not till later. it's not combinations. They called it something else.
Mm.
Sequences, maybe.
Oh yeah, sequences.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm memorizing all these sequences. And...
Right. There's like all these different sequences that this kid knows, and he won't tell who taught him. Which I'm not sure who taught him. I guess his dad.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean,
because his dad was killed in
Right.
the first season, right?
yeah, and I guess he learned the bomb making from him, so I guess
Yeah.
he learned to learn this, which it's basically like safe cracking. It's
Yeah.
just a way to be able to open locks and do shit like that. So this kid knows how to do it for whatever reason,
Mhm.
and my theory is that Luthen was like, okay, kid. I'm gonna send you out on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Do this for this guy, and then he'll put you on a ship and send you home.
Right.
And
Whereas,
Luthen was like, I don't give a shit if he comes back or not. This kid's means nothing to me.
right, and Cassian mentioned something similar to that later on. Basically, Luthen just wants results. He
Yeah.
doesn't care who gets killed along the way
Yeah.
or
He
anything
is-
like that.
He has long since given up. Like we're watching in these 2 episodes, the first 2 episodes anyway, we're watching Luthen like on the precipice of just absolute madness.
Yes.
And spoiler alert, in the 3rd episode it's like he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all of the things that he's had spinning, all those plates he's had spinning are now, everything is starting to come crashing down, and he is just in an absolute fucking panic.
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter what life is thrown away to try and solve this particular problem, like it is the absolute worst case scenario for
Yeah.
him, and he's not handling it well.
No, definitely not. At least, like you said, not in these first 2 episodes.
Yeah, and old girl is trying really, really hard to keep him fucking squared away.
yeah, Clea.
Yeah.
She's yeah.
Why do I feel like she's going to be a turncoat?
Nah, she's too committed. You think so? Huh. I've seen another interesting theory about her. Some people say, well, what if she's actually Leia? And this is a younger version of Leia that's working with him.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
All right. Just something I saw that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I kind of figured it wasn't true. But no, I think she's too dedicated to the cause. Like, she was so adamant about getting back to her communication station, last series of episodes. She's the one who wanted the bug planted in Skolden's office.
Yeah, I don't know. I just get a weird vibe from her about, not that she's not dedicated to the cause, but she isn't as dedicated to Luthen. Right? Like, what's going to be Luthen's downfall?
Well,
I have a feeling it's going to be her. Like,
oh.
she's going to be the one that has to give him up so that the movement can go on.
Right.
That's the feeling that I get, because everyone's got to die,
Yeah.
right? This is Andor. Can't spell everyone dies without Andor, so
Okay.
I'm sure it works out. But yeah, Luthen's going to have to get offed at some point,
Yeah.
and it's either going to be her taking him out or her giving the order through Val to like, I could very easily see Val taking out Luthen
Right.
with her by her own hand.
Yeah.
All those scenarios I can see playing out, but it's definitely going to be internal. Like,
Okay.
Luthen is going to get taken out from the inside.
Or maybe by Andor.
Maybe,
Something
But-
to think about.
but I think it from a storytelling perspective, I feel like it would have more impact if it was from the person who was closest to him.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's going to happen like in the next 3 episodes. I'm just saying that I feel like she's going to be the catalyst for that, because he displayed weakness.
Yeah.
So she's been running stuff kind of off to the side. Like, was running Plan B when Andor came back said, nah, this isn't going to work.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one who executed that.
Execute order, kill Andor.
get Val and Scissor Twin out to the fucking out to Gorman to fucking teach the a la resistance. The what?
It's all right, I fixed it.
Oh, did I click myself out of it?
I think you accidentally clicked it.
Whoops. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Revolution is not for the sane.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So anyway, in this second episode, it starts off with Clea finding out that Skolden is going to find the bug in his office.
Right.
Because she's overhearing him come across a fake piece of art that's in his collection, like a counterfeit. And now he's all fucking pissed, and he's like, I'm going to go and have an audit done on every single fucking piece that I have. We're going to take a close look at everything because these motherfuckers got one over on me, and now I'm fucking furious.
So it makes me wonder, I was under the impression initially that the collection they were talking about was Luthen's collection.
No.
But then as we got further along into it, they weren't stressed out enough about their little shop.
No, and
for that to be the thing.
And when Skolden's little secretary or whatever came over, she even said, she was telling Clea about the counterfeit piece, and she said, "Don't worry, it has nothing to do with Luthen or anything."
Right. Which I thought was a weird play.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's not anything of theirs.
Right.
Which makes putting the bug in the other collection that much shiftier.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, like, why do they want to put that in there? Because, well, Clea, it was her idea. We established that when her and Luthen are arguing later. But,
well, I think because he was, the way Luthen is, he closes all of his loops, right?
Yeah.
So he's probably, Mothma had to go to him for the money. Right. So now he's got to monitor what the mob boss does.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they do that? Well, put a listening device in his fucking shit and probably have him followed and are doing all this shit to track this guy.
Right.
So the problem with being paranoid is, like, the more paranoid you are, the more of these feedback loops that you have to keep running all the time, which is what drives him to madness.
Yeah.
Spoken from somebody who knows. Like, when you have hypervigilance, it's that same thing. It's like every scenario that you try and play out, it's you're running that scenario real time, and as you're trying to forecast out that scenario, you're forecasting out that scenario and that scenario and that scenario, and then it's like, okay, well, that affects this person, so how does that feed back into what's going to happen to here? And now you're running all these things, and the next thing you know, you're fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
And you haven't done anything. But your fucking brain is doing all of these things. So then you just don't go out.
Well, yeah. And his hypervigilance did lead to some things, like the murder of Mon Mothma's friend.
Well, yeah. And he probably needed to die because, given what we saw...
Oh, sure. I'm not saying...
He was definitely a weak link. He had indicators.
Yeah.
I'm not saying... So it's this weird spy movie shit, right? But it's like, the guy was a loose end. So I don't have a problem with eliminating him.
Oh, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but that's one of the products of this hypervigilism that he has, and this over paranoia about every potential loose thread.
Shit, if I could eliminate all of the I'm not gonna finish that.
Anyone with any incriminating evidence on Dave?
No, nothing like that. Just the things that make me go into that hypervigilant mode, then I would.
That could be everything.
Not everything.
All right. A lot of things, though.
A lot of things. Not everything.
Right.
That's what the pills are for.
Indeed. Drugs are good.
Drugs. Better living through science.
Yeah. So after they realize they've got to get that bug out of fucking Skolden's office, we go back to Andor, who's now got his disguise and his new identity, which I guess you just walk into the new identity store on Coruscant and they give you a whole background and everything for for your travels.
Oh, when he gets the new identity from the soccer hooligan he reminded me of somebody from Eurotrip.
Right.
Like fucking comes out of the back room.
Mhm.
Obviously they'd been fucking back there.
Right, because she's like putting her robe on
Right.
and everything.
Like, can I help you? Like, maybe? Like, I forget what he says. Well, what's he says Gorman.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And she's like,
So either these two are part of Luthen's, web of contacts, or there's literally a store on Coruscant where you can go and buy an identity for your travels.
yeah, open the door. Ding, ding. Hi. Can we help you? Yes, I would like an identity, please. Sounds like a Mighty Python skit.
I'd like to have an argument, please. No, you don't?
But I'm sure they are like, it's the equivalent in a spy movie to like the person that's the expert passport forger, or that the Bourne Identity when they open up a secret stash of fucking passports from everywhere, that type of thing.
Yeah. Cyril is going back to Coruscant. This is when he goes and briefs them at the ISB. But before he leaves, the ISB technicians show up in his office. Now, this scene I was a little confused about. Do you think that this whole scene where they're sweeping his office for bugs was staged so that the gal that is in his office that's a turncoat that's working with the front sees this? Or do you think that they were just kind of working on their own and...
If Dave was running this op, no, it's not staged.
Okay.
Right? Cyril is an undocumented agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to run an op inside of that. And those other people, you let those other people know. There's too much of an opportunity to have it feel like that this was staged, right? The reactions need to be genuine, right? So even if this person, there's just no reason for it. Like it makes more sense that the ISB was like monitoring people's like areas with, I don't know, they could have been monitoring the phones. Could have been a red team that was like listening to the phones or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Picked up an anomaly, and we're like, "Hey, we're gonna tear the place apart to find out where this anomaly is."
So this could have been totally independent of everything else that's going on.
That's what I think. I think it's independent of what's going on with Deetra and that mission, because there's only like Deetra, the boss, and Cyril, and then that's it.
Yeah.
That op is limited to a fucking code word only type deal. So I don't think that some fucking red team, a bunch of schmucks are going to have any idea that that's going on.
Yeah.
Because what do they know what to leave and what to take? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or who to fuck up and who not to. So and if they did find something, like, he knows that everything is bugged anyway. So
sure,
like it's up to him to fucking feign surprise and be all indignant about the thing. He has to do his part, but in reality, he knows that it's bugged, but he can't let that on.
Right.
That he knows, because that's part of the deal.
Okay. So, but you don't think it was all staged by the ISB to kind of? Okay.
No, I think it was a completely separate, like, here's the technology division that was just, or the, not technology, signals directorate was monitoring their comms, probably picked up an anomaly. They're like, okay, let's run this to ground. Let's do just a simple sweep, and sent some guys in with gray suits and said, hey, we're going to do a sweep.
Okay.
And that's that.
All right. Easy enough. At some point after this, I wrote in my notes that Cyril actually is a pretty good spy in all of this. He seems to kind of be into it. He's a good at acting, and
You know, you almost like his level of excitement at doing it, though. It's like, I have a giant erection. Like, he might as well have said it.
Yeah.
Might as well have said it.
Yeah, you could see him like having a slip up as
Right.
he's like talking to all of the people in the Gorman front, and they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna help us get these schedules." And why do you have this massive erection right now?
Right.
I can clearly see it through your pants.
It's optical illusion. it's you know, it's pleats in the pants.
Mhm.
I'm actually gonna take him back to the pants store. It's the spiders.
Yeah.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Luthen visits Bix in the safe house to kind of check up on her and see how she's doing. He comes across her drugs, which she uses for sleep.
Right. So there's a lot. This is a very interesting scene. There's a lot to break down in this scene. Right. Luthen's randomness of checking in on her is one thing.
Yep.
Like, he knows that something's up with her.
Yeah.
So I was surprised she actually lived through this, to be honest. I expected Luthen to he very easily could have swapped out the drugs.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I know she's using, so I'm just going to swap this out. And when she goes next, it's just going to look like an OD.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I thought, because that's how my brain works.
Well, no, but see, after all of this sequence, I kind of thought the same thing. I kind of thought that Luthen was at least considering offing her
I bet you he was.
because she's become a liability.
Right.
You know, she's less of a help to the cause, and now she's more of a liability in keeping back Andor.
I think she was still sharp enough to pick up some clues about, like, hey, when you walked in here, you were gonna offer something, and then you stopped.
Yeah.
You know, and so she's obviously sharp enough, even though she's not all present.
Mm-hmm.
Functional alcoholic, let's call it.
There you go.
And I think too, there was some empathy there when he said that she said, take these for sleep. I take it for sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, it works in the beginning, but after a while, it just makes the nightmares worse.
Right. Yeah, it's like
because he's done it. That's obvious that he's used it.
Yeah.
For the same reason, and he knows it doesn't work because he has the same nightmares, and he gets kept up at night.
Kind of like drinking when you're having a lot of problems and
Yeah.
you're trying to drown them out in alcohol.
Yeah, so he has the experience of it, and it's like showing some empathy towards her.
Yeah.
That he's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and let this go.
Right.
After Cassian read me the fucking riot act, maybe open my heart up a little bit. This isn't costing me anything by her being here, so all right, I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Mm-hmm.
Which surprised me at the end.
Right. Because I'm still thinking that he's thinking that she's a liability and she needs to go. Like, I'm sure that thought has crossed his mind.
Sure. Which makes the end of the next episode that much more interesting.
Yeah. Cassian arrives on Gorman. He's, dressed up all, nice, and he's got his backstory and everything. He's like a designer and blah, 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 blah. Then we get to the scene where Cyril arrives at Deidre's apartment. And, he comes in and he's like, how long do we have? And she's like, an hour. It's like, really? Just an hour? Because I'm assuming he wanted to stay, have dinner,
right.
But I guess for secrecy's sake, he couldn't stay that long. And that's when you get the hold on, I wrote it down. Turn out the lights.
Yep.
And he's like, I can't believe you had me followed. Turn out the lights.
Like, okay.
Bow, 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 bow. So that's two fucking scenes we've gotten now. We had Cassian and Bix doing their little hand ritual
right
before they started fucking before he left.
That was kind of like, all right, here's a little soft intro.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have some obvious implications where
yes.
she's like, all right, battery's dead on my dildo. Fucking all right, lay down.
Yep.
You child.
I bet she does everything too. I bet she's like completely in control
Oh fuck yeah,
of
dude.
the whole process.
That has that dominatrix thing going. Totally.
Yeah. Um,
My penis so smooth.
but not the last sexy stuff we're gonna see in these
It
3
is not.
episodes. So moving on. Cassian meets so Cassian's hanging out at a cafe on Gorman, and
Right.
the daughter of the main guy who's like running the Gorman front makes contact with him.
Right.
You know, she's like, "Oh, Billy Bob," you know, his whatever his made up name is.
Right.
I didn't realize you were in town already. And you know, she sits with him at the cafe, and after a couple minutes of like coded back and forth, and some people that were beside them leave, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Right. You don't know me.
Yeah, you don't know me. Why would you all of a sudden make contact like this?
Right.
You know, and put you and everybody else in danger. You know, I
Right.
could have been an ISB person.
Yeah, your field craft sucks,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. So he just sits there and lectures her about how they need to be more fucking careful.
Right.
And then, when they were saying their last goodbyes, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, those 2 guys you have following me, they're just drawing attention. Make them stop."
Right. Yeah, it was Andor posturing a little bit because I don't think he wanted to be there.
Oh yeah, that was obvious.
But at the same time, it's like he is established himself now as an experienced field agent.
Right.
And it's like, dude, by you sucking, you're compromising me.
Mm-hmm.
So knock it the fuck off.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not here to play with children.
Yeah.
So knock it off.
Yeah. I like the scene. I thought it was a good scene. And I love all of the spy crafting that's going on in these 3 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, it's very cool.
Gee, if you only watched a movie like that would have spycraft in it, you might enjoy it.
Maybe, but why should I bother with that? I've got Andor now.
Well, a couple episodes of it anyway.
Yeah. We go over to where Cyril is at his mom's house again, and he gave her that toy spider, and she's like, maybe I should call it Cyril. You know, and she's talking about like listing all the bad qualities about the spider.
I hope that she dies in a horrific fire.
She's just an awful person.
I want like she needs to be in a speeder accident that the lithium ion battery catches fire and just like she's just 5 minutes of just her screaming death.
Yeah.
And everyone would cheer because she's just awful.
Yeah.
Just an awful human being.
Mm-hmm. And she treats her own son this way, and
I mean, she's an exaggerated stereotype of so many
sure,
mothers, obviously, but yeah, God, fall in an age tree and die, lady. God.
Yeah, my notes here were she is completely insufferable.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Or she can fall in an age tree and die.
Yeah, either way.
Call me a little comby.
We go back to Bix at the safe house, and she's basically stoned out, gun in her hand, watching the fucking View on on TV, or some poor excuse for the View with like maybe a cross between that and fucking Hunger Games.
I think, well, it had a Hunger Games feel to it, right?
Yeah,
With
the whole eccentric dressing up and
Yeah.
everything.
But they were talking about rewind. The beginning of this episode, the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we get the Andor introduction like sequence?
Yes.
And do you remember the beginning of the second episode where it was like the TV tuning?
Oh, yeah.
Or it wasn't the TV tuning, it was like the radio tuning. Like she was at the console like what's her nuts? Fucking
Clea.
yes.
Yeah.
I can't believe you got that from what's her nuts. Like she was trying to tune in the radio and picking up all these like different little side conversations.
Right.
As the Andor thing was,
The logo was coming up.
logo was coming up. I just thought it was a really neat touch to kind of lead into some of the things that happened during the episode.
That is true. Yeah.
Because that like communication, like giving the radio, like, part of what happens here is Andor gives him a new crystal for the radio that he got. That ultimately he had been talking, Willy Wonka had been talking to the Luthen with,
Right.
from the crashed starship.
Willy Wonka.
I don't know the names of these guys.
Yeah.
So
he is the owner of the shop and everything.
Right.
So I mean, I guess it works.
So when he, gives him the crystal, it's like, okay, here's the crystal to this radio that's going to make it secure. Like, here's the key. This is just saying, like, hey, we're here. We're willing to work with you.
Yeah.
Dude, where was I going with that? How did we start this?
She was watching The View combined with Hunger Games.
Yeah. So they're talking about this senatorial, basically the swearing in ceremony.
Yeah.
And apparently it was like a big event, and what you get these cut-ins with Mon and the husband.
Yeah.
Going to parties, and they're talking about how, like, they never had to do these before. Right. She's been elected like 14 other times, and they never had to do this before. So with the Empire came like this extra pomp and circumstance for these senatorial seats.
Yeah, like the swearing ins and everything, and there are parties associated with it.
Yeah. So it was like, no, don't do it. Never mind.
Okay.
Nope. I'm gonna go ahead and stop myself there before I say something I will regret.
All right. Well, I don't know where you were going with that, so
It's a good
that'll make
thing.
it easy.
Yes. So moving on.
Yeah, moving along, we get to the part where Cyril and Deidre are talking to the main guy, whose name I can never remember, at the ISB headquarters, and basically he
Grandpa.
he lets Grandpa know that he's made contact. He's in. He's sure that this is the front. And the guy's like, all right, what do I need to do to help you? And he's like, well, keep your schedules consistent, because ultimately they're trying to help this group to commit, these terroristic acts or whatever.
Right.
Because they want them to get bold enough and strong enough to do more and more stuff, so that when they come crashing down and, take fucking Gorman for all of its minerals, they've got an excuse, right? They've got a reason, because they had to lock down Gorman because of all this terroristic activity.
Right.
So they're trying to help them make this happen. And that's basically what Cyril's role is he's the informant, and he's supposed to have good, reliable information so these people trust him, and that they start, committing these crimes. And
so it's the analog of how George made these movies with it as almost like a Vietnam protest. This kind of has the same feel to it, where I don't even know how to describe it.
Like as an allegory to something today,
or not necessarily today, but something more modern. Of hey, we're going to arm insurgents to create a kerfuffle that has to be put down. That's going to enable certain things.
Gotcha.
So I think that there's probably a narrative that they're trying to reach there. It's not by accident.
No, everything in this show has been very deliberate so far.
Vive la resistance.
Yeah, they're not doing anything by accident, that's for sure. So, and that's when we get the line, if I say this is the greatest day of my life, would it spoil everything? Oh, he's so funny, because
he's just standing there, and he's just got this just dumbfounded look on his face.
Yeah.
And Deidre's like, oh, it's good to see you happy.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. But her and Grandpa have a conversation after that, or sometime around this time, where basically he says, Cyril can never know what we're really up to.
Right.
Right. Which, so I guess he doesn't know that they're eventually going to rape the planet of all of its minerals and leave it in a big piece of space junk.
Yeah. So Cyril's not, obviously he wasn't in the room when Krennic gave the briefing. So
Right. Because it was only those people that were in the room at the
Right.
time that were in on it.
yeah, and we're assuming that that level of secrecy is being held.
Yeah. Oh, something else that I keep forgetting to mention. I forgot to mention this last week. Have you noticed that they've mentioned Colonel Yularen a couple of times?
Several times.
Which is a nice little reach back to the Thrawn books.
Yep.
And, he's been mentioned a couple of times in canon now.
Yep.
So I just thought that was kind of cool that
Yeah.
they keep talking about him.
Yeah, they've said his name very deliberately
Mm-hmm.
a couple of times. Yeah, it was cool.
So I love the way they intertwine all of these. It's very well done by the story group. We finished this episode off with Saw. First of all, he's testing to see if terrorist kid has completely taught this other guy how to run the thing.
Right.
And he pulls a gun on him. He's like, "Are you sure?" He knows exactly what to do. And he's like, "I did my best."
Right.
And then he fucking blows the other guy's head off with the fucking blaster.
Right.
Come to find out that dude was a traitor all along and was feeding information to the Empire.
Allegedly.
Well, they found something in his pocket that was the proof, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I mean, don't we have precedents that Saw is about making it whatever it needs to look like, whatever that's what's happening.
Yeah. Because before he was talking about killing the terrorist kid once he was done teaching,
Right.
like the one guy how to do everything. He's like, accidents happen.
Yeah, and it was because he told him where the hit was going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and there was probably I put it out there like the allegedly part just for fun, but you would think that, all right, I'm going to tell. He keeps asking me where the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to tell him, and then I'm going to see where that goes.
Right.
Telephone game. I'm going to see where that goes, and then when my informant hears it, then I'll know he's the leak.
Mm-hmm.
And then fucking boop.
Sure enough.
And thankfully, he's got the code breaker kid that can still get them into the pipeline to go sniff glue.
Mm-hmm. And that's how this episode ends. It's fucking weird because Saw's basically, as the kid's trying to do the codes and shit on this new place that they've gone to. He's given this long fucking lecture about how he was a fucking slave in the jungles for a while, and they worked him naked because his clothes had melted off.
Is that the end of the second episode?
Yeah.
So basically what he's telling is why he's in the super suit in Jeddah.
Yeah, because he's smelling the exhaust from this thing.
Right.
That's clearly toxic.
Yeah, he was exposed to it to a point where it poisoned him.
Yeah.
So he can't. He's basically. There's a what the fuck? Name something that
Napalm.
I mean, napalm, Agent Orange,
Yeah.
shit like that. Breathe it in, it burns. Obviously damaged all of the, damages organs, shit like that. What the fuck? I had it. Anyway.
Yeah.
I had a funny for it, but then it disappeared.
Yeah.
Because
They called it Ryo, I think.
Ryo.
Yeah.
What Ryo was the gas.
Yeah.
That they used for fuel.
Right. And that's the stuff that he was sniffing.
Right. Because he was basically addicted to it.
Yeah. Hence the iron lung when we see him in Rogue One.
Right. So I wonder if maybe it wasn't oxygen. Maybe it was the stuff.
Oh.
I wonder if that's what was in
interesting.
there.
And not that. Oh, so he was just doing that to get high.
Yeah. He needed a hit to fucking.
We'll have to pay attention to that when we see Rogue One again.
Yeah.
Huh.
See what he's actually breathing.
Like, is he inhaling the bad stuff or is he inhaling oxygen because his lungs have been destroyed by the bad stuff?
Right. Interesting. Yeah. I'm sure somebody in the chat right now, I'm not going to look. I'm sure somebody in the chat's like, well, if you would watch this thing, you'd know that.
No, our people don't do that.
Yes, they do. Jason, they do.
All right.
They make fun of us when we're not looking.
That's just the hypervigilance talking.
My penis so smooth.
So anyway, after he gives this speech, the episode's over. And we go into the next episode where Cassian starts by meeting with Luthen. And basically he suggests to Luthen, like, fucking leave these guys alone. Don't get involved. They fucking suck. They already want to, pull some shit. They're fucking amateurs.
Yeah, it's amateur hour.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Right. But of course Luthen disagrees because, he thinks any system, especially this one, that has any kind of rebellion against the Empire is useful for them
Right.
and for the greater cause. But Cassian's like, nope, sitting this one out. You can get your lesbian chicks to fucking handle this.
Well, and I think that I don't think that Andor knew that he was going to send
No,
chicks in
no,
there.
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
I had this distinct impression that, like, they had their mind made up regardless of what Andor was going to find, and they were going to send them in.
Right, because as Luthen was talking to Clea in their coded conversation,
Right.
He mentioned like, oh, you were working on somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
There's another piece to look at or something.
Yeah, and then we immediately pop to Vel being in fucking Gorman.
Yep.
Is it Vel or Vel? I used to think it was Vel, V-E-L, but now I can't remember. I'll look it up. That's fantastic.
Wow. I came out of my toes.
How are your toenails? Your fingernails you keep pretty low. How?
Same. It's the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Vel, V-E-L.
So if I'm in a blanket or something like that, and
when your toenail scrapes across the inside of the blanket,
and it gets caught or something like that, forget it. I will Mike Birbiglia style jump out the fucking window. That is no, absolutely fucking not.
Oh god, that's funny,
dude. I no bullshit. Probably within this bag, the truck. Well, between this bag and the truck, there are most likely at least 3 pairs of nail clippers.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and knives that have my small knives that have the cuticle scissors and the files.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
It really is. And I don't know why. I don't know when it started that it is like that, but it fucking has gotten worse over the
Really?
years. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's
Bring that up with your therapist.
what the fuck are they going to do?
I don't know.
He doesn't know how to handle me now. Honestly,
he's like, I went into the wrong business.
dude, you're not supposed to go into see your therapist and be like, what am I going to fucking freak him out with this week?
Mm-hmm.
But I pull that off every once in a while. I'm not proud, but
I don't know. I kind of would be. Honestly, I can't stand therapists. I've tried them.
it's all about finding the right one.
Yeah,
we've talked about it.
Yeah, I've tried like 3 now, and none of them have been satisfactory for me.
I've had 6 different ones.
Damn.
It's all about finding the right one.
Yep. Anyway, back to Andor.
So her name is
Vel, V-E-L.
like velvet.
Yes. Yeah,
Like
Velvet is her whole name. They
so-
call her Vel for short.
So not vulva,
No, not Volv, not Val. Vel.
Vel.
Yeah.
Silky smooth, like
Very
velvet.
Vel.
Okay.
But yeah, immediately she's on Gorman. So I'm almost kind of wondering if she was there in place while Cassian was there.
Maybe.
But,
Maybe watching him.
Yeah. So,
But I think his he would have noticed.
yeah. As Cassian and Luthen are riding back from Gorman, Luthen never mentions to him that he went and saw Bix. So when Cassian gets home and talks to Bix and finds out, he's fucking furious.
Yeah.
Because he thought that Luthen was going to go there behind his back, basically, and give Bix a mission while he was gone. And he's like, what the fuck, man? So he goes and confronts Luthen at the fucking shop. Like, he's like
Right.
banging on the front fucking door. And you can see Luthen is like, this fucking idiot.
Yeah. This motherfucker
Yeah.
grabs a box
Mm-hmm.
as a cover story from the walk to the fucking window.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how desperate he is at this point.
Yeah.
Like everything has to have a plan.
Right.
Everything has to have this. We have to close the loop on everything.
Right. Which, I mean, I get, when you're dealing with the Empire and all the resources they have and you're trying to start a revolution, you gotta keep it tight. But, yeah. And, fucking Luthen mentioned a couple of times how Cassian's disappointed him. And now how Bix has disappointed him as well because she told Cassian. And at this point, man, if I was Andor, I'd have been close to being like, you know what, go fuck yourself. Go find some new lackeys because, we're done.
Well, Luthen calls him out on it. It's
Yeah.
like, take me in or kill me.
Yeah.
Right? I took you in. This is the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what you wanted. So shut up.
Right.
You volunteered for this. So
But it was after this conversation was where I'm like, yeah, he probably would be very happy if Bix just OD'd and, was out of his hair.
how is Bix going to die?
I don't know. Maybe Luthen is going to kill her, and Cassian kills him in response.
That's too easy.
I'm sure they've got something elaborate planned. But I even wrote in my notes here, is Luthen going to kill Bix? Question mark. But we'll find out more in later episodes, I'm sure.
And probably in 24 hours.
Yeah. Back on Gorman, Vel and Cinta are reunited.
Yes.
Reunited.
And it feels so good.
And I tell you what, man, Cinta's looking pretty damn hot in these episodes.
That was obviously deliberate.
Yeah, and I think the new haircut was part of it. I don't know,
Right.
but she's a pretty good looking lady.
Yeah.
Luthen, he likes to employ the prettier of the ladies, except for Vel. I don't find her attractive in the least. But he's got Bix. He's got I like Clay. I think she's pretty cute. And then of course he's got Cinta, who I appreciate a lot more after this episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those two are reunited, and they've got a whole bunch of lovey-dovey scenes where they meet at this cafe, and
Right.
they talk about, I missed you, and
Right.
only thought about you since I've been gone. Sorry for not making contact in the last year.
Right. Like, okay. This was the part I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this in my life until a little bit later.
Yeah.
Where it got a little bit more interesting.
So, but yeah, Cinta's there to help, plan this heist with Vel. So they're now in with the Gorman front, per Luthen's request, and now they're going to help them pull off this heist
Right.
and, get going.
Yeah. and what's really funny is it's like it's our way or the highway type thing.
Yeah.
And you have them that are like, "Nah, we can do this. We can do. Who are you to tell us?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to take orders from these fucking strangers." And meanwhile, Willy Wonka's like, "Can you just shut the fuck up?"
Yeah, the guy who's
Like,
running the whole thing.
Yeah,
Like,
can just shut up. Like, what are you doing here?
yeah.
It's like, shut up. Like, no, fucking Tweedledee and Tweedledum, right? The ones that fuck up the whole plan,
Mm-hmm.
foreshadowing it
Yeah.
from
Oh yeah.
a million miles away.
Though what's interesting is the gal who was going to be the driver. You know, she was speaking up a lot, and you know that prompted them to be like, if you can't follow orders, now's the fucking time to say so.
Right.
You know, and they moved her out of the driver position, and nothing really else ever happened with that. Like they pulled her from being the driver, put her up on the surface with the other two girls, but then nothing ever
No,
happened with her.
well, she did disappear.
Oh, that's true, because the little old lady was coming
Right.
to the scene of the crime, and she had to like, oh, let me help you with your bags and get the fuck out of this area.
And it was part of the reason that they were delayed.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, we have 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
So in that minute, you have Cinta goes to pick up the detritus from the mines,
Yeah.
which is becomes an unfortunate mishap.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, her not being there by taking the old lady away is what prompts a delay.
Right. Right.
You know, they're on time, but they're on the timeline at that point. But
They're cutting it close.
yeah,
Yeah. And well, we'll get to that when we actually get to the heist itself. Eventually we get to the night before, where Cinta and Vel are talking again. This time Cinta's showing a little more skin. She's in like a tank top, and you can see like her massive cans underneath, and you know she's showing some skin, looking pretty hot. And we get a pretty intense makeout session
yeah,
between Vel and Cinta.
yeah. Like, whoa, it's Star Wars? What?
Yeah.
It's like, hi, hello.
Yeah, we're breaking all kinds of ground in Star Wars these days.
Yeah.
We're raping. We've got some lesbian sex.
Yeah.
You know,
Some just Star Wars After Dark type shit.
I
man.
know, right? Yeah. So this is the third fucking sex scene we've had in these 3 episodes. We get to a point where we're at the Senate, and apparently they have like a senatorial pledge of allegiance, where you know they make all of the senators, you know, I pledge allegiance to the flag and of the empire.
Well, so this is the swearing in thing.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's what that is.
Oh, okay.
So they're doing the swearing in bit.
Yeah.
So they have that guy up there who's leading that.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, I don't know, government employees do the same thing. You have to swear in,
Yeah.
just like enlisting and whatever.
Gotcha. And it's very empire centric, the swearing in,
Yeah,
and to the point where it pisses off Mon, and she
like she finally just turns on her heel and fucking marches out of there.
yeah, when they're all in there chanting for the empire, or whatever it was. Yeah, so she storms out. And then we're off to the party. So Luthen and Clea are getting ready to go to the party. And they bump into Bail Organa,
Right,
not played by Jimmy Smits,
right.
which is unfortunate because I guess the story is that his schedule just wouldn't allow him to make it for the Andor shooting. And in Jason Roscom's humble opinion, then they should have cut him from the whole fucking story and not recast him, because Jimmy Smits is fucking Bail Organa. I don't care, you know, what other actor you cast in there,
Right.
how much he tries to imitate him.
Well, what's funny to me, and what the actor that plays him in this one,
Mhm.
J-
He's a well-known actor. Like,
yeah,
I can never
he-
remember
he
the
was
dude's
in,
name.
He was in Law and Order,
right.
right? Wasn't Jimmy Smits on Law and Order at some point? I feel like that this dude like came in after Jimmy Smits in a show,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, hey, here's this character, and then Jimmy Smits left, and then this guy stepped in that role
Oh,
after
okay.
he left. So when I saw that dude, I'm like, that's actually pretty funny. That's that guy.
Huh.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy Smits is suddenly back.
Right.
This guy was just that guy for, like it's an episode of The Office where it's like, Jim's at the dentist, and our actor friend is playing his part.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean? I gotta see what the.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't watch any of those shows. Like really, I didn't see much of Jimmy Smits at all until he actually joined Star Wars. Like I wasn't familiar with
He was in all those lawyer shows
Yeah.
back in the day.
I think he was on The West Wing at one point also. But again, I didn't watch any of that shit. So
I don't know why I watched all that. I don't know why I have a huge data bank of those law and crime shows from back in the day.
mhm.
I know the actor, was it Michael Ferrera? Ferrera? It's like no. Is that his name? Not important.
But I mean, Jimmy Smits has been, more than willing to come back to Star Wars for multiple projects, and he's done that very recently. Between fucking Andor itself, Kenobi, all kinds of other stuff. He's been willing to come back and reprise his role in Star Wars, but for some reason, this one time the schedules didn't work out. And if it were me, I'd have just been like, all right, we don't need Bail Organa for these stories that we're going to tell.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
This is interesting from Screen Rant.
Hmm.
And Screen Rant's the worst. It's like the fucking
Yeah, they're one of those clickbaity websites.
Yeah, it's a National Enquirer version.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Bratt is the.
That's right, that guy. That would be funny if he did replace Jimmy Smits on a show, though.
I'm almost positive.
All right, well, let's get back to the episode, and we'll come back to that if anything pops up. So, did you notice the when they get to the party, there's a paparazzi droid that's like taking pictures, like Senator, over here.
Yep.
That was hilarious.
Taking the pictures.
Mm-hmm. Over on Gorman, the heist is on. They're starting to get prepared. And the ISB guys, including Lonnie, are actually at the party. Also, the one that Organa and Luthen is at. And that's going to be relevant because, Lonnie's going to get grabbed by Clea for help getting the bug out of the office. While he's like, you're going to fucking ruin everything.
Right.
She's like, just pretend that I'm flirting with you and we're going to be all good.
Right. It's not that weird.
Yeah.
Just.
While he's like stiff as a board the whole time. Like he's
be natural. I'm being natural.
Right. She's not. You're not smiling.
Move to the left.
Yeah, and he still doesn't right away either. Like he's so fucking petrified at this point that he's gonna get caught. And oh, by the way, Director Krennic happens to be in the same fucking room that they're in right now, having a war of words, if
with
you will,
Mothma.
with Mon Mothma. Yeah, because they're talking about basically one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pointy. It was very pointy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, from this point we're going back and forth between like what's going on with the heist, what's going on with Mon versus Krennic and the rest of the stuff at the party, and then the microphone extraction. And as the heist starts, everything's going according to plan. They're on time, and then that's when Homegirl sees Lady with her groceries. It's like, hey, we need to get you the fuck out of here, even though I got to be out of here in like 30 seconds.
Right. And the way that the timing was of everything, like you had this impression, like to me that because the heist was moving at the same pace as the conversation was going
Mhm.
with the microphone thing all happening at the same time, like the crescendo was all kind of coming together.
Yeah. Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I was I was expecting it to be a little bit more,
Climactic.
yes,
Yeah.
more climax.
Yep.
Almost like
Well, unfortunately, that's never going to happen again because
well, I mean that we know of.
right.
I mean she
Well, I mean, I doubt they're going to go to necrophilia in Star Wars. I
Not-
don't think that's the next frontier.
not that we've seen.
Right. But yeah, rest in peace, Cinta, as that big guy, the one that was arguing at the town hall, comes out and sees like them fucking doing the heist, and he's like, "What the hell?" And then that other fucking kid, the one who wanted to bring a blaster and who was specifically told not to,
Yep.
you know, Vel and Cinta, we're the only ones that will have blasters. He pulls the blaster on the fucking guy. They get into a scuffle, and boom, random shot, fucking domes Cinta. And rest in peace.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which locks up Vel.
Yeah. Like she doesn't like cry or do anything hysterical. She just, like you said, locks up.
Yeah.
So
And completely lost her situational awareness.
yeah. So now
Like,
it's the rookies on the Gorman front side that have to like get her to move. They're like, "Come on, we got to fucking go. Grab the body and let's
Yep.
get the fuck out."
yeah, and it was like the big guy, right? He was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll take the body.
Yeah. So the heist was going so well up to that point. Oh, and this whole time too, fucking Cyril is watching as this is going down.
Yep, and he's given a play-by-play,
Yeah, to the ISB. And
which there was this other part before we got to here where Willy Wonka and Deidre come into the comms area, like basically into the kayak.
you mean Grandpa. Willy Wonka is the owner of the
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Store.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm mixing up my characters. Grandpa, when they come in to, empty out the kayak so they can fucking have their secure comms
Yep.
without anybody else being in there.
Yeah,
thought that was
yeah,
pretty
and
funny.
that whole ops floor was pretty cool looking
Yeah.
too. So I like that.
All the ISP shit is just fucking,
Yeah,
I love it.
it's pretty awesome.
I shouldn't like it as much as I do, to be honest.
Yeah, and to kind of close everything out, the heist happens. They get away with the weapons. Despite losing a person along the way, Clea gets the microphone out of the piece of art eventually, and everything all kind of works out for everybody.
Except for Vel.
Yeah, she's
Well,
she's left without her lady friend.
so the side story to all of this is there's another side story that they got intel on the good doctor,
Yes.
that he was going to be part of the Imperial Navy, right? They're going to have to basically share, right?
Right, because instead of being the one guy that the ISB uses randomly, now they want his whole program as part
Right.
of a bigger operation in the
Which-
Empire.
I swear to God, there's got to be somebody in the writers group has worked in government.
Oh,
at some point,
absolutely.
because Jesus Christ, if this doesn't happen constantly,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, okay, hey, here's this resource that works really well. All right, we want to share it. I'm like, okay, we'll share it, but we're gonna be watching you, and we're gonna be real dicks about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we're all working together.
Don't work together. Keep an
No.
eye on this fucker.
Yeah, don't work together and say no all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But not being the ISB and going and being with the Imperial Navy, security is not quite the same.
No, because the last scene that we get is him coming home or going to the office or something, and Bix is there waiting for him.
Yes.
In the dark. She fucking she comes out with a blaster, basically tells him to strap in, like puts him in the fucking chair and puts the headphones on him
Yep.
with the like the whales being killed or whatever.
Yeah.
She fucking cranks it up.
Yeah, she dials it to 11, which
Yeah.
is fucking brilliant.
He's like fucking convulsing and shit there as she's walking out.
Yeah, and how fucking sadistic. Like, so they have the chair and the little work table and everything else, and then as it pans back with him screaming, it's like a viewing area.
Yeah.
Like through the glass.
Yeah.
Just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Fucking wild. But and then we get the cool guys walking away from an explosion scene,
Right.
where Bix and Cassian, she meets up with Cassian on the outside of the building. They're walking away. Click, boom. You see an explosion, and that's pretty much where we end this series. So for me, I know we're running long on time here, but for me, I enjoyed these episodes. I loved the spy crafting aspect of them. And it was another one of those situations where I had to watch it a second time to fully appreciate it, like I did with the first series of episodes. But so far, I still think the first 3 episodes were a stronger story than what's happening with these ones. But I think these ones are, we're here to kind of set up for the next big one, because obviously Gorman's going to be the focus for most of the season, I think.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. So I liked the storytelling that they did in this one. I liked the building that they did to get us to the next step of the season.
Yeah, I mean, aside from it being Star Wars After Dark, I mean, some of it I think was a little gratuitous.
Like what kind of stuff?
We didn't need to have. I think it was like, okay, yes, you're implying that something is happening, and then you went like clicked it one over, then you probably needed to go.
Okay.
Just in my mind, I was just like, all right, this is just a little gratuitous. But not. It still wasn't like this is what we wanted.
Yeah.
With this show, so I didn't have a problem with it. It's just like I felt like it just went maybe one click too far.
Yeah.
It really makes me. I'm starting to put like, okay, this is where I think this person's going to die. This is where I put, how this is going to happen. And I'm trying to put those pieces together, because that's in any like good spy movie or like action movie. It's like, okay, a well written movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, how are we going to get our plucky hero? How are we going to get him from this point to this point, knowing that all the people that he knows and loves are going to die?
Yeah.
Right. Like how do we get there?
And you're starting to try to
so
put those pieces together.
Cinta is dead, so she's kind of ancillary. Like she wasn't really that big of a part of it. Not as big as Captain Knuckles was. What's his name?
Oh, the friend of Mon Mothma?
No, the big guy, friends with Bix and
Brasso.
How do I not remember that?
Yeah, we're getting little deaths here and there.
Yeah,
but we're building towards the bigger ones, I'm sure.
I think that in this next sequence of 3, we'll have a bigger death.
Oh yeah, we've got to. So yeah, I think overall
exploded.
I've got a good feeling about the rest of the season, and
it's still phenomenal. It's still must see TV. Honestly, it's like this is not your grandfather's Star Wars, kids.
No, definitely not.
Uh,
or maybe it is your grandfather's Star Wars.
Yeah, it probably is. Since some of us have kids that could have grandkids.
Right.
Oh my god, so old.
So yeah, we might as well go right into the final reads or anything that you have, because we are running long, or we've run overtime already.
All right, so I'm gonna do it quick.
Okay.
ATSW Family Happenings on Wednesday. ATSW The Escape Pod will have something special up their sleeves, including insert sneaky laugh here. Ha 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 ha. Join Dondell, Snooch, Brady, Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy in a live chat 1905, 705 Eastern Daylight Time on YouTube. This Thursday, Alan and Chris, a.k.a. Frankenfur, will be discussing this 2025 sci-fi thriller Companion. But before we can review it, first we must view it. Give it a watch on Max and catch the review at Grave Reviews on YouTube at 2000 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight. Orange and Fett Show released episode 144, Thunderbolts, this past Friday. Catch it on Spotify or Apple. I'm pretty sure with the Thunderbolts preview in the theater, I gave it a big...
You gave it a thumbs down.
I gave it a big thumbs down.
Yeah.
Because... bleh. Support the official Sidebar Cantina band till the end and buy their shit. Go to tilltheendofficial.com to check out their tees, sweatshirts, stickers, and posters. Check out their socials as a sneak peek of their video of Budapest was just dropped. Be sure to drop your email for updates as an album should be coming soon. And buy their shit because that's how they make money. No news from layman's terms or use and abuse. You can find us at bio.link /Sidebar Cantina, where you can find our links to Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcast on Audible, and Spotify, and all social media platforms, including X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. Once you get to the bio link, simply click the symbols under our pick to go to your platform of choice. You can also find all of our past Spotify mixtape playlists. Also in our bio link is our TeePublic merch shop. Choose from 7 designs, everything from t-shirts and hoodies to tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, printed wall art. Bio.link /Sidebar Cantina and click merch. I doubt there's reviews. Please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Apple or Audible account. Facebook page or review feature too. I keep wanting to rewrite that. Just screenshot your review before you hit done and DM us a pic on Instagram or Twitter. So blah, 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 blah. Do it. Catch us on Spotify and click those stars. If you are listening to us on audio, please consider joining us in the live chat. On Mondays, the chat is most definitely where it's at. If you're new to Sidebar, please subscribe, ding that bell, select all to receive notifications when we go live. Remember, smash that like button. It really helps us out. As always, a huge shout out to all our Patreon supporters. You are the reason why we do this.
That's right.
For 8 years.
8 fucking years. Unbelievable. Man, I
8
got to
years.
go.
8 years and counting.
I got to go back and listen to some of those early episodes again.
Oh, my God. So much drinking.
Yeah, just to see how different things were.
Oh, my God.
But all right, that's it. Thanks everyone for sticking with us on the video, even though we went long. Thank you as always to all of our audio listeners. We don't forget about you guys, and you are the best. And more Andor next week.
Hell yeah.
It's been working out watching all 3 episodes for the show, so we're gonna keep doing that. And until next time, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Partner.
Okay, now what do I click? When did that start?
That was very early on. Probably, I don't know, 20, 30 episodes in. And I was fucking with it because this is back when I was recording it on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like fucking with it as we were ending an episode. And I'm like clicking. And you're like, okay, now what do I click? As I'm trying to fucking stop the recording. And then that was it.
So funny how this shit just
yeah, all of these things
materializes
that, people who would listen to us for the first time would have no fucking clue what all of these references are. Just shit that's been building on the show for, again, 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh, Orange and Fett's doing King of the Hill next.
Damn it, Bobby.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of material there for King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to end the stream because we got to go. But thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you guys next week with
See ya.
more Andor.